This is Fam Electric Ghost, and we are live on our Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube channels. And we like to talk about expansive sound. Recently, we got this cool toy. Well, not a toy, but it's a really good recording device. It's the Zoom R20. And what's cool about the R20 is it's the first Zoom digital recorder that has a touch screen. And what it allows you to do is do like DAW-like behavior. So what I mean there is from a digital audio workstation on your PC allows you to take clips and tracks and move them around. And so because of this touch screen, you can actually put down like some drums off a DFAM, like a Moog drum machine, then move them around or copy or paste or clip them up. In addition, it has a drum machine built into it. It has an FM synthesizer built into it, and it has the ability to bring in wave files at 44.1 megahertz. So it gives you DAW-like functionality, and it has a really good sound. Because we've had an R16 and R24, and we have an L8 that we're using right now for the podcast. The L8 sounds fantastic, but this R20 has a superior sound than even the L8 and the R24. It just makes a really good quality. And when you go to master, a lot of times, like if you take a wave file from this and you bring it into SoundCloud, it's already high definition. And if you try to go and master it on Landar or SoundCloud Dolby mastering it, you don't really see that as much a big difference as you did when you use like an R24 and R16. It actually makes really good master quality level stuff that you might not have to remaster, which is like saves you money. But even in any event, what we like to do is do live recording, and we use another Zoom product called a Q8 camera, and it allows us to take our output from the R20 and actually do a live show. But first of all, we put together a playlist of a bunch of videos that we like to create for our music. We put this together, and we've been working on all kinds of projects. So lately, we've been working with different titles and different arrangements of what we put together for our music. And so we yesterday came up with an interesting set of songs that we put together, and we create playlists on YouTube and we on SoundCloud before we actually distribute our songs. And so one of the songs we put together yesterday that we were very interested in what we did, we have this collection called My Lewd Boo. And in My Lewd Boo, we've got a bunch of different songs that we put together. And from yesterday's practice session or rehearsal, we came up with this like 38-minute rehearsal called Wicked Vibrato Tone. And it was from inside that that session, we also came up with a song called It Ain't Easy Being Sleazy. And so those songs came from that song came from that session. In addition, on this record, this new record that we're putting together, and it's set up as an album on SoundCloud. We have this song called Playing Checkers in the Back Room, Pistols and Stamens at Midnight in Full Bloom, and Crude Lewd Rules and My Lewd Boo. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to actually go and play some of the songs from this collection that we've created videos for. So we're going to put up a video, and all these songs we're using the R20. We're also using a Moog Grandmother for lead lines. We're using a Mother 32 to do bass lines. We're also using the DFAM from Moog drum machine. So most of this is analog. We have some Juno GI kind of supernatural guitar, taking advantage of the GI had Boss effects built into the workflow. So it's got a bunch of stomp boxes built in, and it tends to have a really cool guitar sound that we've been able to use. We use an MX1 performance mixer, plus the R20 has effects that we apply to the signal. So without further ado, we're going to bring up the first song that we're going to talk about, which is an R20 song. It's not from the rehearsal. It's a separate song that we did previously in the same method that we call expansive sound or kind of stream of consciousness recording, and then we used an iPhone to do a bunch of different apps and layered on a video. So we're going to put this together now. We're going to play it.
I wanna get to inflorescence as you scheming down pictures into. I wanna get over you. The necklace is all I wanna take. I don't even wanna try anything. And it's all in you. It's just all I wanna do. And all I wanna do is get into the influences like you. All I wanna do is get into with the influences like you. Like a flower blooms at midnight in June. You got me going into and out of the heaven. All I wanna do is lick the nectar out of a flower girl like you. All I wanna do is drink the nectar out of and the pistols on my way. Pistols and screaming that I wanna get into. Get deep, 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 paint hard. You is the hardest girl I've ever seen into. Midnight flowers will bloom. Midnight flowers go bloom. All color into. All I wanna do is be a girl, not being doomed, not being into blue. Just fucking deep, deep in pink with my boo. Spinning with the pistols and pistols into the truth. All I wanna do. All I wanna do. Spinning in the pistols and midnight the flower will blow. It was fucking into me. Midnight the flower, boom. You're all I wanna consume. I need the midnight for quarter to doom. I wanna do it. But I wanna get into with a south girl like you. I wanna do it, get into a flower girl like you. I've never seen a woman expressing some bloom. It's not as fine heart pink as you. It's the hardest boy can ever do. And my darling Sophia flowers in bloom. The heart pink that don't you ever do. When you see my Sophia is full bloom. I wanna do Is you gonna be all I can see? You're gonna be all I can assume. You're gonna be more than night blues at midnight in the tune.
So that was Pistols and Statements at Midnight in Full Bloom. This is Fam Electric Ghost. We're back on the mic talking about the use of the R20 as an alternative to a DAW. And that was totally recorded with the use of Moog DFAM and the use of Grandmother and Mother 32 recorded directly into the new Zoom R20, which is a really cool Dawless tool because it allows you to actually move tracks around like a DAW but with your finger on a touchscreen, and it allows you to take in multiple inputs and record them to different stem tracks or tracks. And we find it very good because we like to do a stream of consciousness type of recording. A lot of our songs are just kind of off the cuff. We just have an idea in our head, get to our sense, and then put it down. And it's kind of like a sound painting. We like the idea of sound painting from like George Martin talked about it with the Beatles. Hendrix talked about it on Electric Ladyland. The idea that, you know, as a musician, sometimes you have these point in time moments that you capture, and tools like the High Force and tools like the R20 and even the Zoom like R16s and R24s before it, R8s, allow you to kind of do this kind of stuff directly at the instruments, which is what our preferable way ever since we've been recording when we were 17 years old with a CZ101 and a Tascam 4-tracker, and then later a D5 and a Korg sequencer. We like the ability to kind of just put something down without having to worry about compression, without worrying about all kinds of other things. It basically, the problem I've had with DAWs is with my hardware sense, you know, I put something into a DAW, and then when I hear it, it doesn't sound like what I was hearing in my headsets, you know, what I hear back on the monitor. And that was very frustrating to me because I put a lot of energy into trying to get the CV right and trying to get all these things right, and then it wouldn't record the way I wanted. And what I've found is tools like the R20 and the High Force, I can get my sounds the way I want, and then I'll put them into like a live track. I tend to record my High Force directly into my live track, and then I record all my other synths directly into the R20. So now we're going to get into another set of songs that we did. We're going to do the next song called Playing Checkers in the Back Room. So we're going to put that up now.
She's the kind of girl that could get you off cruel. She's the kind of girl that to find out it's too dead in the pool. She's the kind of girl that you meet in Catholic school. You wonder why balls she rules, 'cause she's just been cool. She's the kind of girl that's so damn cool. You know that she's playing you for yesterday's fool. Look so pretty in a Catholic school to do. You know what you should and shouldn't do, and what you won't feel in rule. Just want the balls to rule. And she's the kind of girl that's the old school cruel. She gonna do you until you feel like some bitch fool who's dead at the bottom of the pool. You feel like you're dead at the bottom of the pool. You feel the feeling that you feel so. Even though you can't get it up. She's the kind of girl that makes your love cruel. Because that's the way you do it, old school. Blindfolded and you're getting done by a girl who do. And she laughed when she said, oh, that I was the one that did it to you. And you don't know how to play the fool. Unless we're with the girl that got your balls in a vice, so old school. You're gonna do it till you do it all, dude. You're gonna do it till you feel it, your lips turn blue. But she's the kind of girl makes you wanna go back to school. Got your nuts in a vice and feeling so cruel. And everything she does to many fools who think that she's really in love with you. But the thing that she does, it seems so cool, it seems so just for you until you see her with the other dudes. And then you know you've been playing the fool. She's been playing chess and you're playing checkaboo. Playing chess and you've been playing checkers with some dudes in the back room crew. You've been playing and play for a fool. She's playing the Nixonian balance power rules. And you've been playing checkers in the back room with some bad fucking dudes. You're the playful fool. She's playing kissing the Nixonian level balance. balance of power, dude. He's been playing against enduring the killing balance of power rules, and you've been playing checkers in the back room.
So we're back, and that was the latest Expansive sound that we were into, and we're going to get back to the next song, which actually is the live performance. But before we get into the live performance that we did, again, we've been talking about using the R20 from Zoom, which we find is a really cool hardware recorder. And I just like having the faders and the tools in front of me when I do my recording, just because I find like when you have like a device like this and it has the touch screen now, and now it has a lot of the modern conveniences of I can take a file that I create on an Akai Force. I can take a file that I get from somebody I'm collaborating with. I can take that WAV file, put it into either a mono or a stereo link track. Then I can overdub on top of it. Then I could actually go into that WAV file and clip it, and then take the hook and move it around. I could take the lyrics and move them around just as I feel like it. Like I can just do it with my finger at the instrument. So if I suddenly come up with something on the Moog, or come up with something with my make noise morphogene, right? If I go and I sample it and then I bring it back in and I morph it and then I put it as like a shadow track, or I add it as like an effect track, you can do a lot of cool things where I like to just, as a musician producer, do things right at the board. And all my boards and all my stuff is in front of me. So if I want to go and then, add something, I can do it. And now I could take that whole mix, bring it into my Akai Force, and then add like a mellotron, or they'll go add a sample, and then bring it back, and then add it back into it and redo the mixes. It gives me a lot of alternatives to different ways I can do things. And now you've got the ability, like on the L8s, to actually have input lines actually record directly to tracks or stems, which means then after the fact, when you mix down, you can go in, you can mute tracks, you can change the levels, you can just, you can do a lot of cool, interesting things on the mix down. So it just gives you a lot of tools, and we've also been able to use it live. And so the next video is going to show us playing live, and this is the actual song called "It's Not Easy Being Sleazy," which we pulled out of the track, and then we added a bunch of effects to it. So we're going to get into this song right now.
It's not so easy to be a slave. It's not so easy to be a king. It's not so easy to be a slave. You gotta work at it, you gotta try. it's not easy. Being a sleeping on track. Do or die is not so easy. Being a sleeping not so easy. Do or die or cry. It's not so easy. Being sleeping into a die. That's the easy. That's so easy. Being sleeping. That's so easy. It's not only the big cellular athlete.
Yeah, you gotta try at being sleazy. It's not that easy. So that's the whole premise of that song is just you gotta work at being a jerk, being an asshole. So the that this kind of came through in consciousness. We're in the middle of the practice, kind of at the tail end of yesterday's practice session. We came up with that song, and then that kind of shows us like what I like to do is because sometimes as a musician you can sit there and I can go on my Akai Force and I can go and actually not go live and put together a song and not have to have people watching me as they do it. But I think one of the things I like to do in this age of not being able to play live anywhere is go live using StreamYard, the same platform I do podcast on. And there's an opportunity to talk about, like, I interview bands. I've been doing it since 2018 of over like 120 bands I've interviewed. And on this podcast, it goes live on my Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. It also can go to Spotify but with all the issues with Spotify now, I ask people if whether or not they want it there because of the controversy with Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and a podcaster I won't mention because I don't want to give them any press. But the idea is if you go live, you can't start and stop. You got to just go and try to complete the thought, try to complete the work. And it causes you to do things that you don't necessarily, I didn't know I was going to do that song yesterday. I was kind of, I found this riff. I found a drum beat. I like to use, I still use a Beat Step Pro. I use it with a JDXI. And that's like my drum machine. That's been my primary drum machine until I got the DFAM, and then I use the DFAM a lot, and then now I use the Akai Force to put together drums. And also there's a drum machine inside the Juno GI, and a similar type of drum capability in the R20, which I've used on some tracks on some new records that are coming out. I got like 4 or 5 projects coming out this year. They all start happening in February with Ellie is the first song. It's the first single. We're actually putting a single out. We usually don't do that, but we're putting a single. And so Ellie's coming on all channels, including the one I won't mention, but Apple iTunes and Amazon, Tidal, and all these other ones, YouTube Music. And so what we like to do is when we do that live type of performance, it causes us to drives us to do something that's unexpected. We don't even expect what we're going to do. And from there, sometimes we work on songs that come from these practice sessions, or we take the song exactly as we did it and put it out, because that's kind of our intentions. We like we've always been an old school type of recorder. We like to feel that live style recording is honest. It's got that punk aesthetic. You know, I'm a big fan of bands like Joy Division, Replacements, Hoops Skidoo, anything that was on SST and Sub Pop. I was a big fan of a lot of those bands. Original REM from IRS. I just like the kind of raw nature of the lo-fi college radio stuff that used to be out there and still out there. I interviewed tons of bands that are in that zone. And so on February 11th through the 13th, we're doing the second Peg Bedroom Producer Festival, and Anna Utopia, who has participated in it as an artist, spoken word artist from Italy. She does a lot of interesting spoken word and performance art. And she's did the poster last year. She's done the poster again. And we've got a bunch of acts. They're going to either be on MPEG-4 or movie files or play live. And that's what we did last year. It's going to be from the 11th of February to the 13th. I'm actually going to play live like I usually do. But we like to take our podcast guest and give them a chance to play. And so that's what we do. We use this format to do that. So we're going to go into the next song, which actually is the full rehearsal that we're going to play. And we're actually going to play out, and hopefully everybody will dig it. I think that's what the next song is. Well, let me check. So we're going to get into it right now. Yeah, rewind it. Here we go. Wicked Vibrato, the full practice.
Press that bone or you don't. Press that bone or you don't. All that you alone. For you bone on telephone.
fast and how you born. You know you're not alone. You're fast and how you born. You know you're not alone. You're fast and how you born. Oh, wicked wet Lord. You're vibrato. Vibrato. Your fences all alone, yeah, you're wicked, wicked where I know that vibrato, that vibrato. Sides all alone, you're wicked on the phone. Yes, we're all gone. In that vibrato tone. The fence all gone. About the bone, no, you're not alone. Who's that using the phone? It goes up as the bone. We can pop our tone. Who's that using the phone? We're doing that all so low. Yeah, we can vibrate tone. Don't you know that wicked vibrato, deep vagina bone? Close up my nose. There's no way to be alone. Who's that you in the phone? Look at my little tongue. Who's tone. We get vibrato. First time that you were alone, I should know. Your girlfriend on phone. We get vibrato. Whereas I know, first side to the bone. Yeah, I wish you were alone. I wish you were alone. Yeah, fast I moved on. I know. Girlfriend take like a close up on the phone. Yeah, I wish you were alone. Yeah, fast side on the phone. I know that close up. But that looking vibrate on tone. Wish you were alone. My girlfriend took that close up on. Wish you were alone. You got something on phone. Yeah, wicked vibrato and deep red giant overload. Wish you were alone. Your girlfriend alone. Put that close up with the phone and that. We can bomb red tone. Yeah, deep the giant bone. Deep the giant bone. We get on the tone. Yeah, bomb red tone. Yeah, wish you were alone. I know that girlfriend took it to come on. I know. Yeah, we can't vibrate on tone. A wicked vibrato. Girlfriend took a close up, I know it's a wicked vibrato. And I wish you were alone. Know that you ain't alone. Your girlfriend got pictures on her phone. I wish you were alone. But your girlfriend got close up her pictures on her phone. I wish you were alone. But your girlfriend got close up pictures on her phone. your girlfriend's on the phone, looking on the picture, let her forget my little tone. If I saw you know, your girlfriend took the codes of the photo.
It's so wicked wet, yeah, I know. It's wicked wet, I know. Girlfriend took the pictures, I know.
just an interlude. Don't worry, I'm just changing channels. Well, actually, the R20 is rendering what I just did, which I didn't realize it would stop when I hit it like that, and then it's gonna come back on so I can do the rest of the performance. But just what happened here, explaining it.
It's not so easy to be a slave. It's not so easy to be a king. It's not so easy to be a slave. You gotta work out, you gotta try. Good dad. It's not so easy. It's not so yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, be a slave. I'm trying. Do or die. It's not so easy. Be a slave. Not so easy. Do or die or cry. It's not so easy. Be a slave. Do or die. That's so easy. That's so easy. Be a slave. That's so easy. It's not going to be a slave. It's not going to be a slave. Yeah, I see that. You gotta try. You gotta, yeah, do or die. That's so easy. Yeah, be a slave. Yeah, do or die. Yeah, you gotta try. It's not so easy. Yeah, be a slave. Yeah, it's easy. Do or die. Yeah, you gotta try.
Okay, so that was the live performance in its entirety. So we're back, and what was about that performance is a combination of things that we used. In that last little bit, we were using the Keystep Pro with a JDXI doing the drums, and prior to that, most of the session had been done using a DFAM, which is the Moog analog drum machine, running through the Make Noise Maths module, and also using a Mother 32 and a Grandmother. So it was like a full analog Eurorack situation, or modular synth type of recording, which we like to do a lot because the Grandmother allows us to do all kinds of really funky sounds with the spring reverb and the LFO and just the Moog oscillators. They sound very different because the Grandmother oscillators are not the same as what's on the Mother 32. The Mother 32 has a very unique oscillator that you can actually fake out, make it sound like it's got like three. And then the DFAM oscillators are percussive. Not that they can't do other sounds, you can actually turn them into like non-percussive type oscillators, but they tend to do really good percussive synthesizer sounds, and they also do really good bass lines. So I tend to use the DFAM for bass. Well, a lot of times I use it for drums. I use the Mother 32 for bass, and then I'll use the grandmother for like lead and strange modulation kind of weirdness, because what you can do with the LFO and the spring reverb, and just the nature of having all the control surfaces in front of me, because I like to like wire up the high pass filter, which is not normal in the flow. The high pass filter is not part of the workflow until you connect it with CV, and then you can actually take the LFO and you can have it drive like a random voltage generator type of situation. So it's a really a lot of fun using the Moog. I've got 3 of them. I really have wanted to get the subharmonica and haven't had space to do it. I do have an interesting thing coming today. I have the new boutique from Roland, the JD08, which is the JD800, and I've actually got the little keyboard, the KB25, which I pre-ordered. I actually got that ahead of time. It's taken a while for those to come in. What I like about the new boutique is it actually on the JD800, it's got like 128 voices. If you use all 4 layers, you get like 32 voices per layer, which you did not get on the original like Jupiter boutique. It was only like 4 voices. And then what we want to do is actually introduce that into the Kai Force, bring it as a MIDI instrument and bring it into the recording structure. So we're hoping to get it today, not too late today, because we just went through a blizzard. We want to actually go and do a song with that JD08. We probably want to get a JX08 too, but we started with the D08, and the JX08 is pretty interesting because the original synth was you had to have like a programmer on it because everything was hidden like a GX7, but it's one of the last of the great like analog Rolands. I think there was a couple more that came. Might have been another one in between there, but the analog Roland sounds from the Jupiter 4s and 6s and 8s, and then the Juno 106s and 60s. They're just iconic, And what's also interesting is we've been looking for a synth to replace our Juno GI, and the Phantom keeps on coming up because now that the Phantom, what they've done is it can actually do kind of what the Jupiter X does. It can actually have models. You can have it do the 106. You can do a Jupiter 8. You can do the expansions. And the coolest expansion they've done is that Roland's actually created a wavetable synth, their own version of it. It's a brand new model that they never had before. And it shows the power of the Phantom is that it can actually bring in a totally different model. When they've had these old models, but now this is a brand new synth engine that normally would have shown up on a separate synth, but it's actually showing up on a Phantom. I don't know if they're going to put it into a separate synth and actually create a separate synth, but right now it's only in the Roland Cloud, and then you can bring it into the Phantom. And so the Phantom has been something that we're really interested in because we talked about the R20 as a Dawless solution, and we got that Kai Force. The Phantom is like the old school workstation, like a Korg, Kronos or the M1. These type of workstations are still like something that I'm probably, I'm old school. I like that better than a DAW because I like, as a keyboardist, I like being right at the board and being able to do what I want, and that's what the R20 kind of gives me, a Phantom-like screen. But the Phantom would give me, an RD piano and the Jupiters and now this new wavetable synth. So there's a lot of cool stuff from multiple companies, and also we see that Sequential has come up with the desktop versions of the 5 and 10. So the 10 is kind of what we want. It's been something we've wanted for a while, so that's something that we got to look into. So like getting into the end of this year, we're hoping after we pay off some of the other gear we got, we're hoping to get a Phantom 7 and use that to replace the Juno, which is the main board you see there on the 3-tiered thing, and that's the Juno GI. We've had it since 2008. And it's our go-to polysynth. We use it for piano, we use it for our guitars, we use it for, like, if you heard in this last performance, we had like an analog polysynth in there. It's all coming from there. And it is a lot of good. It's like 1,300 sounds in the Juno. And we've used it for many years as our go-to polysynth. It's been, you know, with all the stuff that's advanced, you know, we've gone and gotten the Moogs and gotten, you know, the Euro racks, and we've got like an OPZ, and we got the Akai Force. But the Juno has been our like workhorse, because that's what it is. You know, Junos are really good basic synths if you want just like a bunch of stuff, but you don't want to pay for a workstation, and you've got alternative sequencers like our Arturia Beatstep Pro has been a way that we've been able to sequence a bunch of things outside of the Juno. And what we tend to do is use the sequencers that are built into other things. Like the Mother 32 has a sequencer, the Grandmother has a sequencer, the DFAM has a sequencer, our Arturia Mini Boot 2S has a sequencer. And so what we'll do is, because we're like a one-person performer, we'll take advantage of all these sequencers and use them in kind of polyrhythmic ways. So a lot of times we like to take the Beatstep Pro and use that to create a rhythm, and then introduce another polyrhythm with the DFAM, and then maybe the Mother 32 is running a bass line, and sometimes we don't actually sync up the clocks. We kind of manually, by ear, get a bass line that's like in tune without actually CVing it. We just like listen to it until we get it where we want it, and I said, well, you know, what are you doing? It's like, well, because it's kind of like a feel thing. So sometimes we play with the dials on these analogs. You can kind of get it to be where you want it without having to CV it. Because sometimes when you CV, you don't get what you want. So sometimes what I found is like I kind of manually dial in the rhythms on multiple machines and get them in the range I want. It might not be perfect, but it gives me what I want. And it gives me this kind of expansive sound. It's kind of nature of what we do. We've just been talking, and this whole session is about songwriting and about how we create videos for our songs. And I hope you like it. You check out our sponsor. We're going to bring up one of our big sponsors, which we think you should check out. Go to Double Jack Online. They, if you take your smartphone and scan it right now, they are an online philanthropic lottery. You can play Keno, Powerball, and percentage of profit goes to charity. If you become an influencer for them, you get a piece of everybody who plays, which is a cool way to make passive income. They're getting into NFTs. We've got some stuff going to them for some of the art we do is going to be available as an NFT through them if you're into that or you're not into it. But check them out. Double Jack Online. They're pretty cool. We'll put up their the link here too. So if you actually just take your cell phone and scan that, it'll bring you right there. Or if you take the link we got down there, there's a Foundie link that we've got, that Double Jack _ online. You can see that set up there, and check it out. And then the other thing, which we did at the beginning, we'll talk about this after. Is there's another sponsor that we deal with, which is Newsly. Now Newsly is an iOS or Android app. You go to newsly.me, and if you use coupon code GHOST2021, you get 1 month premium free. So if you use the coupon code GHOST2021, you can receive 1 month free of the premium subscription. And what Newsly does is it reads the news to you in a natural human voice, so you don't have to actually go to the physical articles to read them. So if you're multitasking, you're doing work, and you want to hear what's going on in current events, but you don't want to go and actually read it, it reads it back to you. So it's pretty cool. Check out Newsly. It's in the App Store, or you can go to newsly.me and use the coupon code 2021 and check it out. So thank you very much for listening to Ghost, and we'll talk to you later.